So this is the second full day closing and end of this retreat, and we have how many? 5 full days, 5 or 7 still to go. No, 8. If you're doing full 10 days, then it's 8, right? So until next Wednesday or next Sunday. So we have plenty of days to go, which is fantastic. So we have one of the topics on this retreat is Bodhicitta, and we have done a few sessions on absolute Bodhicitta, which is the more challenging Bodhicitta. And I was reminded by a fantastic book by Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. You might have seen his image, one of the great Mahasiddhas who he passed away 30 years ago. The name of the book is The Heart Treasure of the Enlightened Ones. Lama Lise was reading from this book on her retreats earlier this year, and I found a passage about Bodhicitta, so I'm going to read you. I'll read like a page and a half today and continue later on this retreat. So this is page 64, The Thought of Enlightenment. Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche's presence is already felt in the air, so you can feel it too. He always does this. You know, when I read this text, we might end up sitting for an hour, the rest of the time not saying anything, because he always does this, like other Mahasiddhas also, that, you know, when they have a chance, they use it. So, the thought of enlightenment. Having realized the importance of faith and of taking refuge, we now come to the essence of Mahayana, the thought of enlightenment. The basis of the Mahayana path is the thought of enlightenment. This sublime thought is the one path trodden by all the Buddhas. Never leaving this noble path of the thought of enlightenment, with compassion for all beings, recite the 6-syllable mantra. The 6-syllable mantra here refers to Mani mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. We have our own version with different seed syllables, Abba Hu Mani Padme Hum Khri, although Om Mani Padme Hum can also be used. The thought of enlightenment, Bodhicitta in Sanskrit, is the wish to attain enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings. Bodhicitta has two aspects, the relative and the absolute. Absolute Bodhicitta is the recognition of the Buddha nature inherently present in each being and can be grasped only by those who realize the void nature of all phenomena. Since it is not easy to understand fully, we usually begin with the practice of relative bodhicitta, which is less difficult. Relative bodhicitta is also divided into two, aspiration and application. The first is the wish to attain enlightenment for the sake of all beings, and the second is putting this wish into action through the practice of the 6 paramitas, or 6 perfections. In other words, aspiration bodhicitta is what identifies the goal, and application bodhicitta is the means by which the goal is attained. The key point of the Mahayana is that both aspiration and application are directed not toward oneself, but toward all sentient beings for however long samsara may last. How does one start to generate aspiration bodhicitta, the feeling of compassion for all beings that inspires in us the wish to attain enlightenment for their sake? First, take Chenrezi, or Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva of compassion, as a witness of your determination to attain realization in order to benefit others. Next, try to overcome the attitude of only wanting to help those close to you while rejecting the needs of people you dislike. This becomes possible when you realize that in all your infinite previous existences, every being, without exception, must have been your mother or father at least once. Each one of those beings, down to the smallest insect, wants only to be happy and not to suffer. But what none of them know is that suffering is caused by negative actions and happiness is generated by a virtuous mind. When you think about all those beings who are sinking hopelessly in suffering, like blind people lost in a vast desert, you cannot help but feel great compassion for them all. To develop this compassion further, imagine yourself in the realms of hell. Suddenly, before your eyes, your own parents are dragged in by the henchmen of Yama, the Lord of Death, who savagely beat them, slash them with sharp weapons, scald them with molten bronze, and crush them beneath slabs of red-hot iron. Watching their terrible agony, would you not feel overwhelming compassion and the irresistible urge to rush immediately to their rescue? When this strong feeling of compassion arises clearly, reflect a little. Your living parents are only two out of the vast infinity of living beings. Why should the infinite number of other beings not deserve your compassion too? Realizing that in fact there is no real reason, gradually try to extend your compassion, first to your closest friends and relatives, then to everyone you know, to the whole country, the whole earth, and finally to the infinite number of sentient beings in the three realms of samsara. Only when your compassion really reaches this vast extent can it be called true compassion. All sentient beings are the same in wishing to be happy and not to suffer. The great difference between oneself and others is in numbers. There is only one of me, but countless others. So my happiness and my suffering are completely insignificant compared to the happiness and suffering of infinite other beings. What truly matters is whether other beings are happy or suffering. This is the basis of bodhicitta. We should, we should wish others to be happy rather than ourselves, and we should especially wish happiness for those whom we perceive as enemies and those who treat us badly. Otherwise, what is the use of compassion? To feel compassion for all beings is the starting point. You then have to be able to translate your wishes and aspirations into action. But, as Lord Atisha said, it is the intention that counts. If your mind is always filled with the intention to benefit others, then, no matter what your actions may look like on the surface, the application bodhicitta will take care of itself. If you can maintain this attitude of bodhicitta, not only will you never stray from the path, you will also definitely make progress along it. When your body, speech and mind are completely saturated with the wish to help all sentient beings, when your aim both for others and for yourselves is perfect Buddhahood, then even the smallest action, a single recitation of the money mantra or a single prostration, will swiftly and surely bring the fulfillment of your goal. Let that sink in for a moment. Such a wonderful Dilgo Rinpoche's presence with his playfulness. Very soft, very loving, very warm, and huge. Very soft and soothing presence. Full of love and care. Thank you so much, Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche. Thank you for your compassion, for your care and concern. Thank you for being like a mother and father to us. I vow to liberate all sentient beings. I vow to end all self-based confusion. I vow to exercise the Dharma that frees. I vow to attain the great perfection. I vow to liberate all sentient beings. I vow to end all self-based confusion. I vow to exercise the Dharma that frees. I vow to attain the great perfection. I vow to liberate all sentient beings. I vow to end all self-based confusion. I vow to exercise the Dharma that frees. I vow to attain the great perfection. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in his pure land. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in his pure land. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I take refuge in the Guru. I take refuge in his pure land. I take refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in the Dharma. I take refuge in the Sangha. I am the Guru. I'm in the Pure Land. I am the Buddha. I am the Dharma. I am the Sangha. I am the Guru. I'm in the Pure Land. I am the Buddha. I am the Dharma. I am the Sangha. I am the Guru. I'm in the Pure Land. I am the Buddha. I am the Dharma. I am the Sangha. May all beings be free. May all beings be free. May all beings be free. All beings are free. All beings are free. All beings are free. May all beings receive my accumulated merit. I dedicate the merit to the refuge and to all sentient beings. Joining hands. Ai, ai, ai. Good sauna, good sauna. Good sweat. Any comments?
It was amazing. Like I could do this type of practice the whole time. It's the beginning part when I felt that interconnectedness more, and like the whole room start kind of blissing or kind of like sparking, and it's on and off, but it's like, yeah, I'm my favorite practice. I think it's beautiful, really, really beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, after the reading came, I found it very, very deep, you know. I really found that I could just feel the presence, you know.
Yeah, he's the big man, Dilgo Rinpoche. You know, Dilgo Rinpoche, he was maybe, if not 2 meters, close to 2 meters tall. And he was a very, very big man. Like he was, he had mass, like I don't know what his weight might have been, maybe 130 kilos or something. So he was a like a really big man. And there's a lot of photos and videos of him. So sometimes when, you know, I spontaneously feel like, you know, his presence comes, or I feel like practicing Guru Yoga with him, I imagine myself, you know, put his body in the place of my body. And it's very, very, it kind of snaps on very well because I'm a small man. I'm 175 tall, so I'm like a feet shorter than he was. So it's very easy to cover my whole body, imagining Dilgo Rinpoche's big body and you know his huge hands, for example. You know, my body being so much smaller kind of just slips inside his body so much more, you know, effortlessly. Yeah. I'm saying this so that you know you can also do this if you feel like sometimes practicing Guru Yoga with him. All right, folks, I think it's time to hit the sack. It's been a long day, so we need our rest. So enjoy your evening and see you again tomorrow. Thank you for today.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, everyone.
Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.